Morning. For today's video, I will be demonstrating to you on about the physical assessment of the thorax, the lungs, the breast, the lymphatic, the heart, the neck vessels, as well as the vascular and peripheral system. So always prepare the environment and the client, and gather all the necessary equipment such as stethoscope and other materials. Then always introduce yourself to the client. So good morning, sir. I'm your student nurse for today. I'm student nurse Chino. May I ask for your name, sir?
Yes.
So good morning, sir. For today I will be assessing your thorax, lungs, breast, lymphatic, as well as your heart, neck vessels, peripheral and vascular system. Is it okay for you, sir? So always provide privacy to the client. So first is the assessment of the thorax. So first is to assess the posterior part of the thorax. So in assessing the posterior part of the thorax, always inspect for the shape and configuration of the chest wall, and inspect for the client's noting posture. Inspect for the use of the accessory muscle and ability to support weight upon breathing. So upon inspection, I observe that the scapulae are symmetric. The client does not use accessory muscle, and the client is sitting while having normal breathing. So next, the palpation of the posterior part. So in palpation, palpate for tenderness and sensation. Palpate for the surface and lesion. Palpate for lesion and masses. And then palpate for the premitus while the client says 99, and palpate for the chest expansion. So sabihin mo lang 99 habang pinapalpate mo yung muscle. So 99.
99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
So upon palpation, there's no sign of tenderness elicited or reported by the client, and the premitus is symmetric and easily to identify. So next is the percussion of the posterior thorax. So in percussion, percuss for the tone, percuss for the intercostal margin, and percuss for the diaphragmatic excursion. So in palpation, start on the aphysis across the top shoulder. Next is the auscultation of the posterior thorax. So first is to auscultate for breath sounds, and auscultate also for the adventitious sounds, and auscultate for sounds over the chest wall. So I will use stethoscope upon auscultation. So, So upon auscultation, bronchial and bronchiovestibular sounds are heard, and there is no any other adventitious sounds are being heard. So next is the assessment of the anterior thorax. So first is to inspect for the configuration and shape of the chest, inspect for the position of the sternum, inspect for the slopes of the ribs, inspect for the intercostal spaces, and inspect for the use of the accessory muscle. So upon inspection, there is no use of accessory muscle, and the position of the sternum is at the midline, and the slope of the ribs is going downwards. So next, the palpation of the anterior thorax. So in palpation, palpate for the tenderness and sensation, Palpate for the surface characteristic for the presence of lesions and masses. Palpate for the primitus while the client is saying 99. And palpate for the chest expansion. So, sir, sumabi lang po kayo ng 99.
99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
So upon palpation, there is no pain or tenderness elicited by the client or reported by the client. There is no presence of masses and lesions, and the cremitus is symmetric and easy to identify. So next, the percussion and auscultation of the anterior chest. So in percussion and auscultation, percuss for the tone of the clavicle, percuss for the intercostal spaces, and auscultate for adventitious sounds and breath sounds. So first is to percuss. Then next is the auscultate for any breath sounds. So upon percussion and auscultation, bronchial and bronchovestibular sounds are being heard, and there is no adventitious sounds are heard over the chest of the patient. Next is the assessment of the male and female breast. So first is to inspect for the size, color, shape, and texture of the breast. Then inspect for bilaterally the size, color, shape, and texture of the breast. Then palpate for the tenderness and any lesions that are present in the breast, and palpate the nipples in rounding motion. So first to inspect. So upon inspection, the breast, the size of the breast is rounded and pendulous, and the skin color of the breast is pale. So now is the palpation for tenderness and the palpation of the nipples. So upon palpation, there is no tenderness elicited or reported by the client, and the nipples are normal or what the other people has. So that's